The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host/guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any of BXR entities and those they represent.
Good evening, good evening. It's Skylyne radio show on Be Exposed Radio. So you know what? It must be Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. What's up, Bilan?
What's going on, my silver fox? My guy. Mark. Skyline. I don't know what to call you these days. What's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
You look amazing.
What?
You look amazing.
Beer got more body than women got body. What can I say? I just did a bomb conditioning today, so she extra soft today.
See, first of all, that's why you got these women out here jumping and getting plastic surgery and all these bazillion butt lifts and injections and stuff, because y'all men's want to be out here with all these beautiful beards with more body than we got, so we got to add more body.
No, you don't. You're beautiful just the way you are. That's how God created you. Stop with the foolishness.
Well, then stop making your beard sexier than us, okay? That's what you need to stop doing.
Hey, look. Baby boy got good genes. What can I say?
We can't compete.
It's not a competition. Not at all. Just to the other fellas, because they be like, man, I thought I had a beard. Then you came in.
Oh,
hey, man. What can I say?
Beard gang.
Water-based products are the go-to. Get away from your chemicals because you're killing your hair slowly. If you don't believe me, that's fine. Ask any woman that knows about hair. I've literally started telling the fellas, go to a hair salon, because you're not going to believe what I tell you. Go to a hair salon and ask the women how to get your hair to grow. I use avocado water-based products, shampoo, conditioner, oil. Yeah. I do another remedy, but we're not going to talk about that on this PG radio show. Shout out to LaTesha. She her schedule's getting crazy, so she hasn't been available to co-host with us, but she's always here in spirit.
I might be going her way too. I'm looking for thinking about making my transition back.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't sound so enthused.
Hey, so we'll see.
You don't sound too enthused.
No, I'm very enthused, actually. like extremely excited.
Well, that's good. I have to make a trip down there, and we just go get her and be like, hey, look, this is what you doing, because we both here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Period. All right.
I'm sure she would love it.
Monty, next show would be filming from Atlanta. That's a bet.
Monty be like, shoot, I'm going too.
Well, we might need give me 3 weeks, because yeah. The girl's trying to be a little more responsible with her funds, Financial freedom only comes with sacrifice.
That's right. You're right. You ain't said nothing wrong there.
We ain't gonna act like we rich, even though we is rich. We ain't gonna act like it quite yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this. Tonight's show, Women's History Month, continues.
Yes.
We got a special two-lady special guests tonight. It's a mother-daughter duo. And they are definitely one of a kind. They're special. I love them to death. I couldn't ask for a better mother-daughter duo on the show. Give it up to Zendra Palmer and her daughter, Jayla Palmer.
Whoa, whoa.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are
Good
you guys?
evening.
Good evening, ladies.
What's
How
up?
is
What's good?
everyone doing? Mark, how are you this evening, darling?
I'm doing amazing.
Amazing. Are you sure? Okay.
I'm doing amazing.
That's what I like to hear.
Okay.
Bilan, how are you, beautiful?
I am blessed beyond measure.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Yes. How are you ladies doing?
I'm lovely. I'm feeling great. I'm happy it's Friday, so you can't complain there.
I was about to say that first question. Sometimes I'm lovely. I know how you look, girl.
Yes, I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. You know, I try to stay up here all the time. So, yeah.
Yes. I feel the vibes. I feel your energy, like even through the Zoom. So I'm with it. I'm there.
Thank you.
You have elevated me already. I was like here, and now I'm like, okay.
All right. Well, let's
I'm here.
higher.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Mark, I want to thank you first and foremost for inviting Jayla and I to join you this evening for your Women's History Month show. We certainly appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I'm glad y'all were able to jump at the opportunity.
Yeah, it was very impromptu. But, you know, what is life without those impromptu moments?
That's right. That's right. God puts people in your circle for a reason.
Indeed, for sure.
So let's start with you, Mommy. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Zendra Palmer. Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Of course, living here in Baltimore now. Been here for 30 long years. Came here for school, Morgan State University. Go Bears, go Bears. And just never left. Started my family here, and we're here. We're thriving, you know, doing some great things and just living and being blessed, being happy, being at peace, drinking water and setting boundaries. That's what we're doing.
All right. Jayla, what about you?
Okay, well, I'm Jayla Palmer. She went to the other school. I'm a graduate. No, I'm a graduate of the Bowie State University. Oh, what's that? What's that? No slander. No slander will be tolerated with my school. Produce greatness, clearly. Anyway,
Till you get there.
Yes, I'm a Bowie State graduate. I'm from Baltimore, 27 years old. I'm a doula. I'm currently in nursing school. I'm a future nurse. And, you know, that pretty much sums me up. I have a little baby. Not so little anymore. He just turned 3. You know, that's my heart. That's my world. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Of course.
Real quick, remind me, who's the mom and who's the child?
Uh-oh. Thank you. Yes. She's the mom. This is the mom right here. This is the mother. She thinks she's my mother.
No, I'm a mother.
I love the genes, okay? I love it.
Thank you.
She act like that because she is. That's what I call my father and my mother. They my kids. How many kids you got? 5? Yep. My oldest ones are 75 and 76.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Yeah.
My parents are still married. They're cute as a button, sickening sometimes, but you know, It's cute that they still have date night. It's cute that they do
Oh,
anything and everything together. It could be going to the store. They go together.
that's a blessing. It's beautiful. Yeah.
There's nothing that they don't do. They're extremely enjoying retirement. Yeah, we're going out of town, such date. Oh yeah, that's what's up. How long you going for? A week or two? When we're ready to come back, that's when we'll come back because there's no hurry. I'm like, damn, I know that's right.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
So this last time they went out of town, they were out of town for almost a month, only because they both got sick, and pretty much the whole family got sick.
I'm sorry.
My mother and my father, on my mom's side, her brother, his wife and daughter got sick. My dad, both his sisters got sick. One of my aunt's husband got sick. So this roller coaster, mentally ill weather pattern that we've been in for the god awful long time of hot cold, hot cold, hot cold. There's an extremely large amount of germs in the air, and if you don't dress properly, you're gonna get sick. I don't know how many times I saw someone with shorts and t-shirts on yesterday, and it's like 48 degrees yesterday, but it was 80 yesterday. Or it was 80 yesterday and it's 48 today and rain. And you wonder why Monday you're calling out of work because you're sick. Just because it looks good don't mean it's good.
That part. Speaking, I'm sorry, because I keep looking at this picture, and I know you're an interior designer. I know we're gonna get to that. I probably just jumped a little bit, but I keep looking at this picture in your background like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Who picked it? Who is it? Why? Is there inspiration? Like, what's the story?
Well, this is actually by an artist by the name of Shai Yosef, and he's from Tel Aviv, Israel. He does some phenomenal works. And I acquired this piece from him. He does some beautiful things, indeed.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And to answer your question, I picked it. I picked it. Yes, it's one of my favorite pieces. It's not depicted of no one in my family. It's just two beautiful melanated little boys who are just gleeful. They see the big smiles on their faces. They're happy. They look peaceful. They look very vibrant, and I love the colors. So, it was right up my alley for sure. So
I love it.
Thank you.
I was like, it's such a statement piece. I'm like, looking at it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So let's dive right on in it, Miss Zen.
Yes.
Interior decorator.
Design.
What got you into it?
So I've always loved, even as a little girl, decorating. I would do things like that with my mom. My mom was really, really heavily into decorating and designing and that sort of thing as a kid. She was always doing something to our home or telling someone else what to do to their home and that sort of thing. Custom-made pieces were abound in my home growing up. And I actually used to hate going to the furniture store with her because we would be in there what seemed like a lifetime. But I also enjoyed watching her do it and then just kind of creating my own personal space, my bedroom growing up, just doing different things that I wanted to have done. And she allowed me the space to do that. If I wanted to paint a mural on my bedroom wall, I could do that. I didn't, how most kids, if they drew on the walls, they would get into trouble. That wasn't the case with me. She gave me the space to just kind of be creative and allow my creative juices to flow in that way. But I didn't always want to do that. I loved doing it because I watched her do it, and I just, love just kind of redecorating my own space, moving things around. I initially wanted to be an attorney, actually. And then went to school, got a degree in business, come from a family of entrepreneurs. And I just decided, you know what? I had my daughter, and I decided I wanted to do something that would allow me to be present for her, which for me, corporate America or working for someone else would not align with my intentions and my desires to be present for her as her mother, being able to go to school, being able to pick her up and drop her off at school, not having to have her go to after school care, and just all those things, being present for the school plays or the, recitals, whatever it was. I wanted to be forever present for her. And so I said, you know what? This is an innate talent that I have. Let me go back to school and get another degree in that. And that's what I did. I acquired a degree in interior design, and started my own business just kind of off the cuff. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I absolutely knew what entrepreneurship looked like. I knew how to run a business because I'd helped my mom run our family business. Growing up, my mom had daycare centers growing up, so I was heavily involved in that, working as well as watching her move through, her entrepreneurial endeavors and that sort of thing. And, I just did it. And it has been very rewarding. It has allowed me to travel to many, many different places, meet wonderful, wonderful people while doing something that I love doing, something that brings me peace, something that brings me joy, and just kind of creating spaces for people that bring them joy as well. So that's how I got started. I've been doing it for 18 years now. My baby turned 18. I call Interior Instincts, which is the name of my company. That's my baby as well. And she turned 18 December the 28th, 2022. That is when I launched. I launched December the 28th, 2004. So yeah, and it's been going great ever since. It's been going well.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Been trying to get her, but she just calls me whenever she needs or wants something. But she's on her own journey and her own endeavors that she wants to kind of explore, and I'm good with that. And we plan on doing some things together because of course I'm a holistic nutritionist and holistic healthcare practitioner as well. And so that's where we are going to kind of merge together as a family business. My son at some point will get involved as well with with some of the offerings that he has for a holistic wellness center and that sort of thing. So, just kind of merging those things together. And they actually, both businesses, I know it's like, well, those are two extremes, and they're really not, because I offer color therapy with the interior design business, which is a very holistic approach to people who have certain issues in their home, and using color for healing as a healing technique, in their space. A lot of people don't realize when your space is in chaos, it's going to create chaos in your life. And so it's very relative to your mental health. Colors, if you want to lose weight, there are certain colors of food that you can put on your plate to help curb your appetite. So I'm very holistic when it comes to my interior design practice as well. So they both kind of function synergistically for me because I'm able to incorporate one into the other and that sort of thing. So it just works out.
So do you ever see your daughter, Miss Jayla, coming into the interior design business? Does she have the gift? Does she have the touch, as we'll
She
say?
definitely has it, but she does not want to do it. I think when she was younger, I think she kind of reminded me of me when I was younger, because she would kind of get interested in it. But I think I scarred her because she was always with me. When I first started my business, she and her brother, they were always with me. And
that out loud.
That's so what made you Jayla, what made you get into, like, I guess, labor and delivery? Because I'm like, ooh, that's sticky.
Did you say sticky?
That's the best word I could think of.
That's one way to describe it.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
That's one way to describe it.
She's not wrong. Well, let me just say this, I guess, sort of a trigger warning. I wasn't always so enthralled with birth. I always know I wanted children and things of that nature, but as far as, being present with other birthing people, that wasn't something that I always wanted to do. It wasn't until after I suffered a miscarriage that I became so interested or intrigued with just women's health and the birthing process. And, after I suffered my loss, no one could really give me any solid answers. I'm a Virgo, so we're very straightforward people. Like, everything has to make sense to us, dead end or, just things that are just kind of loose ends. It doesn't work for us. It doesn't work. So when no one could tell me why I had suffered this loss, it was driving me insane. So I've started doing all this research, and I got super involved in women's health and, why women of color, why we're dying more than our counterparts in the birth room, or the labor and delivery room, why our babies are dying, at higher and more alarming rates than, babies of other races. And that's when I said, okay, what can I do to make a difference? Like, how can I affect change with this sad reality, of the world? And that's how I found out what a doula was. And, I just kind of jumped right in. I completed my training in May of 2019, and I have been all about birth since. Like, my friends can't stand me because I send like random birth videos and they're kind of graphic and gore, and they're like, girl, like, please.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's so
ain't no kind of. They are extremely glorified with anything and everything. But at the end of the day, I watched my son be born.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other better beautiful experience that you can ever experience in life than watching the beginning of life itself.
Yeah, it's magical.
Yeah,
it's magical.
Sure.
It really is. Yeah. And I want to just take a minute to kind of fold into Women's History Month what she was saying about the disparities that exist amongst women of color when it comes to just anything, women's health in general. Mm-hmm. We have a history of being migrated into these movements when it comes to women, right? We have a history of being migrated into these movements, but our issues and our concerns don't get migrated into these movements. And that's why we are here in 2023, still having conversations and discussions and still, pondering why these issues remain when we go to the hospital, when we have issues, why no one listens to us and that sort of thing. It's fine. Women's History Month, it's a beautiful thing. We're here, we're celebrating women past, present, and future. We're celebrating ourselves, we're celebrating our lives, our accomplishments, our achievements. But I think it's also important for us to understand the necessity for, if we're going to come together as a group, as women, of all walks of life, of all ethnic backgrounds and things like that, we also have to make sure that all of the issues of those women are included. We can't just migrate women into a movement and not migrate issues that those particular women face, because we all don't face the same issues. And that goes without saying. Like, we know that. History has proven that. It continues to prove itself contemporary times. And if we don't do something about it now, it's going to continue to happen. And so that's why I'm so proud of my daughter. And I actually appreciate her as a woman for taking a stand to want to make a change and do something different, but also educate women, all women, but particularly those women who are most marginalized and disenfranchised when it comes to women's health, which are people who look like her for the most part. You know, she knows, she has studied, she has done the work, she has put in the work, and I'm so proud of her. I love her so much. She's just like my muse. She's my inspiration. She's an incredible young lady. And I'm just proud of the work that she's doing. And I'm proud to see what she is going to do in the future, especially in the next 12 months when she becomes Jayla Nicole Palmer RN, right? And in another 12 short months, she will be Jayla Nicole Palmer RN. And she will be able to affect change in an even greater capacity because she will be in another space to be able to do that and to teach and also to intervene when she sees things that are not going the way that they should be going, or when people are being ignored when they should otherwise be listened to and taken seriously. So you know, we have to make sure that everybody is included.
Jayla, for your YouTube video.
It's coming. All things birth. Listen, I'm a birth junkie. It's actually, I don't want to say sick, but it's kind of, it's obsessive. Like, I've witnessed so many births, and like Mark said, it just never ceases to be amazing. Like, it never ends. Like, I can watch birth video after birth video and actually be present for births. I never get tired of it. Like, I tell my clients all the time, like, they're usually nervous, especially if it's their first baby. They're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, don't worry. Like, we're going to have a great time. And they look at me like, well, doesn't it hurt? I'm like, it's fine. Like, we're going to have a blast. And, you know, they're in labor. And of course, you know, it's labor. We all know what not we all know, but, you know, people that have kids, you know, they know.
My story, I'll tell you about it in a minute, but
okay. But like my most recent client, you know, she was in labor for about 20 hours, and you know,
yes, Bilan.
20 hours, and you know, she finally had her baby girl, and you know, she was so relieved, and of course, she was tired, and I was like, wasn't that fun? And she was like, yeah, it was. Like, and it's weird. It's this weird feeling, like that face. It's like when you're in it, no, this isn't the greatest thing ever. Like, this sucks. But once it's over, like, man, that was fun. Like, I could do that again. Like, at least that's how I feel.
And I think she was actually interested in birth before she knew she was interested in birth, because when I had my son, it's 8 years between the two of them. Listen,
front and center.
She did not miss a beat. I mean, she was all in it. She was in it to win it. And she was only 7. She was only 7 at the time. She turned 8 that following month. I mean, she was asking questions, and she was just peering, and I mean, she was just inquisitive, and she had, she was like, okay, let me have him first. And then we videotaped his birth, and so we can explain it to you later. So I think that she kind of had it before she knew she had it. Yeah, I think she did. And then of course she thought her brother was her baby. When he.
I did. That was my baby. It's like, she's taking my baby. Like, my baby.
Girl, don't sit down. But yeah, I think she's always been phenomenal with the little children, with the little ones. You know, when she would go home, and when I say home, I mean Milwaukee, which is that's forever my home, because that's where I was born and raised. And you know, she would spend her summers in the daycare with the babies. She was always with the babies in the daycare. She would find a couple of them that she just wanted to kind of hang on her hip. And that's where they were. Jayla was always in the daycare with the babies, with the daycare kids. So I think she had it before she knew she had it, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. Girl, I'm still thinking about them 20 hours. Like, wait.
But she was in, how long were you?
I was in labor for 30.
Yes.
You was in labor for what?
Yes.
30
hours.
30
Oh
hours.
my God.
How many times did you go back and forth to the hospital?
Yeah, they sent me home like twice. And it's because I wouldn't get an epidural. So they were like, well, if you're not going to get an epidural, you can just go home and try to, work through this.
And they could have saw every little black piece of women's history come out of me at that moment. I would Tiana, I ain't going
Yeah, she was a trooper. Yeah, she was a Starship trooper for sure.
I tried. I got the epidural eventually, but because I was like, I don't know when this boy's coming. So
and then he came what?
If he still didn't come for another 6 hours.
Oh, was it that long?
I got the epidural at the 24-hour mark, and then it still took him 6 more hours to come. At least I was able to sleep at that point.
My water broke. Let me see. How did this thing go? My water broke at around 11:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment already that day to get my little cervix checked or whatever. That was supposed to be at 2:00. Now, mind you, I ain't do none of the little pre-pregnancy stuff that I was supposed to do because it was 2010. I was already very holistic. I worked for the insurance company, and I was like, And I was a medical assistant. So just like my knowledge of stuff just would not allow me to.
Understand.
So I was just like, we kind of thugged it out from beginning to end. And now we at this end point, and now we got to go to the hospital. So the water breaks and I run and I'm like, hey, I don't know. I was like, I coughed. I don't know if I peed on myself or my water broke. And real life. So my daughter's father at the time, well, I guess he still is her father. Yeah. My bad. I apologize. So he's around calling his whole family like, BB don't know she peed on herself or her water broke. And I'm going right like, yo, you had to, like, I'm saying that to you. You just had to say it like that to everybody else. Like, no, that's not how that was supposed to go. We called the doctor's office and they're like, no, go to the hospital. Your doctor will meet you over there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So he's getting ready to call the ambulance. And I'm like, poor feet like nothing. I ain't paying that bill. Driving the car.
Oh my goodness.
So hush, okay? Because my water broke, but I didn't have no contractions yet. Like I was good.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, nobody had told me I didn't have no pregnant friends, nobody had babies in my circle. Nobody told me that when your water break, it just keep going.
Yes, it does.
Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
So I'm in my room just changing panties.
Just keep it going. Oh, poor thing.
So when I realized it's not gonna stop, I just grabbed a towel. I just got my car. I just got a new Nissan Altima coupe. Wasn't nobody about to drive my car, okay? I worked hard on my car. I worked real hard. So what I did, I put my towel in the driver's seat, wrapped another towel around me, hopped in the driver's seat, told my daughter's father to get you behind in the passenger seat. Let's go. Got to the hospital, hopped out the car, got into the emergency room. This is how bad it was. I didn't even know what the maternity department was, okay? So we get to the emergency department. I walk in and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, my water broke. Like all calm, cool, and collected. And they're like, well, how far along are you? I'm like, I'm doing like 2 weeks. And they're like, oh, wait. So now, people coming from wheelchairs. I see the wheelchair. She done put me in the wheelchair. Like, we gotta go. We're gonna get you up. And I'm like, it's okay. I can walk, ma'am. And they're like, no. But fast forward, we get to delivery. Now I actually want the epidural, right? I'm still not in pain, but I know I'm gonna have to push this baby out. So it's gonna hurt, right? At least I think it's gonna hurt. My daughter had crowned before the epidural. Before we even had a chance to get the epidural, she had crowned. And that was a completely natural birth. They had to tell me when my contractions were because I did not feel them. And we called her a miracle baby. And their connection is completely frozen.
Yeah.
I'm like, this looked like a... Guys, we do not condone perk 30s, perk 40s. I'm taking a lap around the pool.
You can jump in. You hot.
Honestly, it feels really good out. And I don't think that jumping in with a hoodie would
Take the hoodie off.
Oh, then I got a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad. But honestly, nah, this would have to be like straight head first, son. This water chilly. Like this giving that like get in and like get all the way in and stay in and don't come up.
All right, go ahead.
Nah. Cause I'm at my mama's house. I still gotta go all the way home.
You be all right. You've rode in the car wet before.
I'm about to bring y'all into my mama's house because I don't want the show to get weird because they're still frozen.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with their connection.
I'm not sure.
They need to turn their phone off and turn it back on. Try again. Yeah, one of them sent, I didn't realize that was Zen all close up, but I hadn't realized the picture had frozen until one of them texted me and was like, technical difficulties, we'll be back.
There we go.
Are they back?
Oh, wait a minute. And that one froze too. Oh, nope, there we go. I think she's trying to unmute. Zendra and Jayla.
We're back together again. There's some technical difficulties, but all is well. All is well. We are back.
Good. Welcome back.
So what did we miss?
My whole little birth story.
Oh, no.
So no, you have to finish it. I need to hear it.
Yeah, we got to hear it. Mark, you'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'll make it short, quick. So basically, so water broke, had no idea, drove my car to the hospital, jumped out, hadn't been to the maternity ward, had not done like tour of the hospital or anything. So we went to the emergency room. I'm jumping out with, the big old tummy, towel wrapped around my waist, go to the front desk and they're like, how can we help you? And I'm like, my water broke. And they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, in about 2 weeks. And that's when everything just changed. The lady was like, oh my God. And I was like, I just need to know where the maternity ward is. all fully collected. And then, so of course they grabbed the wheelchair and put me in the wheelchair. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I can walk. And they're like, no, absolutely not. You cannot walk. You will not.
Yeah.
So they get me over there. They had me in the little observatory room or whatever for like 2 hours. And then my doctor finally got there, and then a labor and delivery room opened up. And at the time, they were like, well, we're probably going to have to induce you, because I was still a tight 2 centimeters.
Ooh.
Like,
Wow.
So mind you, it's like it's 2 o'clock. I'm a tight 2. Doctor hasn't even been here yet, but the labor and delivery room has opened up. So they're like, we're gonna just let you, potentially get a little bit comfortable and see how things go. And when he gets here, then we'll induce you.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, are you gonna want an epidural? And I was like, yeah, but I'm gonna hold off for now, try to big girl to stay out as long as I possibly can. Well, then about an hour and a half, 2 hours goes by. I'm still a tight 2 centimeters.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
Or at least so they thought. Because they did not check me from the time they transported me from the observatory room to the labor and delivery room. So when they got me up to labor and delivery, my doctor had just walked in. When my doctor walked in, the anesthesiologist also walked in with him. He checked me and he's like, hey, so he went ahead and told the anesthesiologist to stop prepping me and go ahead and pack up his stuff because it was too late.
Oh my goodness.
Baby girl had crowned.
Oh my, why did I know?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
I'm like, and he was like, yeah, so I need you to go. And he was like, I can't move my hand at this point. And he was like, I need you to go ahead and just lean on back. When you feel your next contraction, go ahead and push. And I was like, well, what does that feel like?
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It was like, and when they showed me the screen, I could see the spikes. And they were like, well, you don't feel that? It felt like the tiniest pinch in my back. Like the tiniest.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, if that was childbirth, I'd do that 20,000 times over.
I must say, that's a great experience.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a wonderful experience.
Girl, I got one stitch. I hopped up when it was all over. They were like, Miss Walker, because y'all know the process, so screw it. He was like, okay, so now we got to push the placenta out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was out in 5 pushes. Her and placenta.
Wow.
Her and placenta out 5. Then they were like, Miss Walker, we're gonna need you to go to the restroom and da da da. I said, oh, okay. Y'all, why did I jump up out that bed?
I mean, you could have. There was no anesthesia or anything, so.
Well, that sounds mystical.
Yeah.
It was very, very, very mystical.
Wow.
So I call her my little miracle baby. But that's also why I'm like terrified.
No, well, I have heard stories where like the first baby is just such a easy process, no contractions. Oh, I was in labor for like 3 hours, came out in 2-3 pushes, and but people that have the next baby, the same people, they're like, oh, it was the worst. But it's not always like that. You could have another easy childbirth. Every birth is different.
Yeah, I'm telling you, as soon as that thing start hurting a little bit, I'm like, knock me out, C-section now, and don't wake me up until I'm completely healed. And when I say completely healed, I mean after y'all done went in and did the tummy tuck, y'all muscles come back, like y'all done did everything. I can walk right.
Wow. Well, speaking of labor and delivery stories, Mark, how long were you in labor?
I don't know. My mom had a C-section.
He didn't get what I said. He didn't get it. Never mind.
Right. I think he did. He just
Yeah, you know. How long were you in labor with your son?
6 hours, I think.
Okay.
Really? That's not bad.
Did you get an epidural?
I don't know what she got. I know she
Okay.
didn't have a C-section. As far as upper door or anything like that, I don't know. I'm assuming she did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because most of the time, you know, you guys just kind of sit there,
It'll just be there.
totally oblivious to what's happening until it's time to push and the baby comes out.
And then they tell you breathe,
Yeah.
relax, and you're like,
So what was your experience? Were you mortified? Because I hear the stories. A lot of men just really get like frozen and mortified when they see the baby coming out. What was your experience? Because you have a birthing story too.
It's unbelievable how I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
All men are punks. Ow, this hurts. You don't know what pain is. For something the size of a ping pong ball that can stretch and push out something the size of a watermelon. Words can't describe how unbelievable a woman is.
Oh,
Say it again.
yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all can produce life. We can produce an ingredient that fertilizes an egg, but y'all produce life. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice. Men don't know what sacrifice is because you're actually sacrificing your whole entire life for 9 to 10 months.
Absolutely.
You have to check your attitude. You have to check yourself from different various things that you eat, drink, whatever the case may be. You have to be extremely careful and mindful of any type of medicine that you take, because there's all kinds of different side effects that can happen, good and bad, with different various over-the-counter or prescribed medications.
Indeed.
When you're pregnant.
Indeed.
My thoughts and prayers are with you from this day forward, Jayla. I'm an advocate for pregnancy and pregnancy and infant miscarriage awareness. I want to get back into holding candlelight vigils, naming off the baby names, doing awareness walks, starting this October again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely be in contact with you about that. You and you too, Zen. I want to get back into spreading the awareness, because you're not alone. And you're right. Words can't describe what you're going through. There's no answer to help you within the healing process. One day at a time.
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay. One day at a time. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And pray. And pray. Believe and pray. You can ask all the questions in the world. No one can explain that. It's unfortunate. It's sad. That's one thing that can make you question your faith. Why did this happen to me? What did I do for something so tragic to happen to me? You can't explain it. You just got to know that there's people there that are there for you, that are willing to hear you if you're ready to talk. And that's all I can say. We can't come to you. You have to be ready.
Very true.
And I've said this to many women, whether I knew you or you're the first one. the first time coming out to one of them type of events. Are you okay? I know you're not. I don't know you. I don't know your story, but I'm always here. It's probably going to be easier for any woman to talk to another woman versus a man, because they can relate because they're a woman. But again, there's always someone that you can go to when you're ready. But you have to be ready. No one can force you to that.
Just piggybacking real quick. I know, like, a lot of the times we say nobody can force you or you have to be ready. Yes and no. Because sometimes you really just need that accountability partner. And sometimes you may be in that space that you'll never be ready, to be completely honest. And somebody has to just say, you know what, I'm ready for you. And this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think in a lot of us, we don't have friends like that because everybody is worried about, you know, protecting somebody's feelings or not losing a friend, instead of being real and transparent. I actually had a conversation with one of my friends and we were talking about, I actually need to go see a dermatologist. Like, God, my skin just did like some crazy stuff. I was stressing and then I put sugar and all kind of stuff. Just, it went crazy. Okay. And she was just like, well, what you need to do, and she finally got like to a point of like frustration. Because we're a little bit different in the way that we handle each other. I'm very black and white with her. She's very sugarcoat with me. And so she got mad at me, I guess, with my delivery on something. And she was just like, you know, that would just be like me telling you that all you need to do is drink more water and do da-da-da-da-da-da, and your face would be fine. And I'm like, well, why you ain't just say that since day one? And just like that. And she was like, well, I've been trying to, like, you know, love you through this. I was like, that's not love, that's manipulation. To make me feel like a situation is okay and that we can baby step it and that we have time to baby step it, when the reality is we don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. Very true. And Mark, I want to, you know, I want to thank you and just pay honor to you momentarily for everything you just said about the miscarriage in women's health, because we need more men to insert themselves in that conversation, because it's important and it's imperative for men to know what their partners are possibly experiencing when they are not just carrying the child, but what happens once the child is born as well. And not enough men insert themselves in those conversations. Not enough men know enough to even care. You know, not to say that they don't care or that they wouldn't care. They're just not educated on what happens to a woman's body, what she goes through physically, mentally, emotionally, and not just the surface things that we hear about all the time. It flows so much deeper than that. And I want to thank you for recognizing that and just taking the time to even know, to educate yourself on some of the things that women go through. And also just taking up a torch to recognize infant loss the way that you have, and you know, expressing your concern and your desire to move forward with, you know, another candlelight vigil and make it a regular thing, because it's so important. She did it a couple of years ago during COVID. You know, and it's something that she started doing, but she wasn't able to continue to do it because of COVID. But now that we free, right. You know, some of those ideas and initiatives can begin to move forward. We can forge ahead with those things. And again, I really, really thank you, because I can honestly say that I have never heard a man address that issue the way that you have. And I thank you for that. I thank you. And any brother, any man in general who's out there listening, who has children, who wants children, who wife, girlfriend, significant other is pregnant with a child, I encourage you to educate yourselves. Educate yourselves, because you need to be in a position to help her. When she needs it. You need to be in a position to recognize the signs if the postpartum depression gets to the point where she is ready to take her life, or in some even, or harm the baby. It's all of this is real. It's not all, pink dresses and blue shoes. You know what I mean? It's not all that. There are some really low moments that women go through during and after childbirth. And it may not affect every woman, but you need to know how to deal with it in case your significant other, or even a family member, a sister, a cousin, a niece, someone that you love and care about, if they happen to go through these things, you need to know. So I want to encourage all the men out there who may be listening right now, who may be tuning in, who may watch later on after this has been recorded, and you go visit the website, or and watch this. Please educate yourselves. Please don't be dismissive of the emotional stages that a woman goes through during pregnancy and after pregnancy. It's all relative. It's all important, and it could mean the matter of life and death. It really, really could. It really could mean a matter. It can make the difference, or be the difference between life and death for a lot of these women. So it's just important. And I thank you, Mark.
Yes, same here. And I'm so grateful for your initiatives to honor women, and to acknowledge pregnancy and infant loss, just to get a conversation going about it, because I do believe that it's still such a taboo subject matter. And people are afraid to talk about it most times because you don't want to offend anyone, or you don't want to, make anyone emotional. It is difficult to talk about. But that's because people just aren't aware. Like, people believe, and even I did at one point as well, before I even had my son, I always thought, okay, women are just supposed to have kids. Like, that's just something we're supposed to do, something that we're expected to do, not thinking of everything that goes into that. And, after suffering my miscarriages, it didn't click until then. I was like, okay, this is real. Childbirth is a little too serious to just be doing it with anybody. So again, just to kind of piggyback off of your partners, your, fathers, whomever you plan on having a child with, they need to be aware so they can be there to support you in every way possible. Because when you don't have that support, even if you have a cakewalk of a pregnancy and a birth, like, you still need that support, because it's important. It's really important.
Your emotions are running 1,000,000 miles a second. And some of them you can't control, no matter what you do. And it can't be explained. All your hormones are out of whack. They're out of tune. So more men do need to get involved, because at the end of the day, it ain't about you. It ain't about that woman. It's about that child that hasn't made it here yet. And stress is the number one thing that can make you or break you when you're pregnant.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Before, during, or after, like I will say, just make sure, if you're a friend, if you're a partner, whoever it is, especially now, we're on the topic of mental health a little bit right now, so I'll go there. If you know your friends, like, study the people that you're around, study their behaviors, recognize the change, and don't be afraid to say something, because they might not even realize that it's happening, or they might recognize that it's happening and don't know how to verbalize it. Just like you said, it's
Uh-oh.
Come to you because I don't feel like I can't even explain this thing to myself. So how would I, so be aware of the people that you say that you care about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Indeed.
That's my 2 cents. I'm driving, y'all.
Don't
Yeah,
say
we're
it.
on a road trip. Where we going?
We are actually going. I just left my mom's house. I think I'm about to go to 7-Eleven because she told me. So my car broke down earlier, so I'm in her truck. But she told me I better not bring her truck back with no gas.
Well, it sounds like you're going to the gas station. That's what I think. Yeah.
I mean, I have it for the weekend, but I'm like, if I fill it up now, maybe I'll still have some gas by Sunday night.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
What are gas prices like now?
Yeah.
You can hit the highway too. You'll be here for lunch tomorrow.
Sir. Sir, first of all, I and not to sound bougie or anything or be any type of way, but I am in a Toyota, not to, no offense to all the Toyota drivers out there. I'm in a Toyota, whatever this is, RAV4. Baby, I have an Alfa Romeo Gilead. Baby, no. Baby, no, you will not see me on a road trip in this, okay? I'm gonna be like, how do I shift this thing so manual? Like, no. I work hard for my social status. I would like to keep it on the road.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying.
You a mess.
I am, but I've learned to accept it. That's what I love. Honestly, no. So Zendra, you said something when we first got on, and when Mark was like, "Oh, y'all are just too much," and you were like, or not be enough. Like, yeah. Yeah. I get that all the time, and that's one of my biggest battles because people have always been like, "You too much," and da 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 da, and most people can't take you. And oh well.
Yeah, right.
Feel free to move around.
That's
not meant to be everyone's cup of tea. It's like the community water fountain.
I don't want to be.
Yes, take it or leave it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll stay on my cup. Oh gosh. Okay. So please y'all don't take no offense when I start making or on my friends' applications, because I do have friends' applications. I got dating applications.
Mm-hmm.
I need credit score. I need eviction. All of that. I'm too old to play these games, okay?
Preliminary screenings.
I do preliminary screenings. And your phone has spell check. Utilize it, okay? Because if your grammar is not right when you text me, that is the biggest red flag. Like
the worst.
Yeah. Now we do understand that autocorrect has a mind of its own sometimes. You know what I mean?
It does. But it doesn't go but so far.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And we're too old to be confusing there, and there.
We're too old to type out "what's up," WASSUP. Or matter of fact, I think I seen an H in it one time. WHASS. I was like, "Well, what's up?" Like, I'm supposed to be reading this and was
or if your entire text messages and acronyms and emojis, that's a problem too.
That's a whole problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on my new friend application, I'm gonna start asking, are you a teacup or a community water fountain?
Me too. Yeah.
I think that's
I'm
a
gonna do
good
that
start.
too, yeah.
Yes. That's a good start.
Yes.
You just gotta ask everybody. Where do you drink from?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mark, you was one of them water boys, weren't you?
No. No. Not at all.
Now, Mark has his teacup. Don't you, Mark?
With the pinky out.
With the pinky. Well, when I was, don't do the pinky.
Yeah, you
Don't
can't
do the pinky up. Just hold it like this, not with the pinky. Just hold the teacup. We will
It's
not be.
a lot of people got secrets coming out.
Oh goodness. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, I am temporarily going to go off camera and mute my line while I get some gas.
Okay, we'll be here when you return.
You can take us with you.
I thought it was dangerous to pump. Like, I be doing dangerous stuff, but I be trying not to do it like where the people can see me. So they was like, that dumb girl. Like, no.
It is dangerous. Please don't pump gas and hold your phone.
Thank you, Bonnie.
That's what they said. That's what they said. Yeah.
Not
So what
smoking.
happens though? Because I ain't never seen nothing actually happen.
Because your phone heats up, it can create a spark. And you can go up in flame.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the radioactive waves.
Yeah, you know, you can set gasoline, the fumes from gasoline can catch fire.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
anything electronic around that.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what you telling me is this same phone that I just be holding in my bra like it's a pocket. I ain't got that much support there neither.
You said that's in your bra. You shouldn't do that either because, you know,
I was just thinking that.
That's what I'm like.
they emit
Yeah.
radiation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep it off of your person as much as possible.
possible. Yeah.
So I ain't even supposed to be holding it up to my ear like that. I might have brain cancer and not even know it.
Yeah, but the same logic applies to you having it, you know, in your bra. Because I don't own an earpiece. I do not do earpieces. I don't do cordless. I don't do any of those. I don't have them. I don't want them. And I primarily talk on my phone on the speakerphone. Very rarely do I put a phone up to my ear to have a conversation. Yeah. So people call me neurotic for all of my little idiosyncrasies, but it's for a reason. There's a method to the madness.
It's not like, here's the thing. It's not madness when you're knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain things when you know you just can't.
Yeah.
I have to question certain things. And I know the phone is one of those things that's just like out of convenience. And computers, it's a lot of, some stuff is necessity, but a lot of it is convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at a lot of the designers and original developers of these items, they don't even let their kids touch it with a 10-foot pole.
True.
They do not. Steve Jobs did not allow his children to have the phones and the iPads and that sort of thing. I read an article years ago where they were not allowed to have these things. That was Steve Jobs, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, they were not allowed to have these items at all. And it really makes you think. If you're a thinker, it's like, okay, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. So you're making billions upon billions of dollars off of everyone else buying your product, but you won't even allow the products in your home. You won't even allow your children to use the same exact products. Yeah. You know?
It makes you think. And there's another one. So I do a lot of reading on like wealthy mindsets and Black billionaires and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was doing this thing with who was it? Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. I was reading up on their marketing, and he was like, the owner was like, I'll never waste my time or my money investing in a commercial because my clientele don't spend their time watching TV.
They sure don't.
Listen to me.
I've read that too.
And I'm just gonna
great point.
Yes, and I'm gonna just fold into something because I get a lot of questions about my business, right? Interior Instincts. I have never had a website. And when I meet people, when I meet people, 18 years, I have never had a website. And when I meet people and, oh, what's your web address? Or what's your this? Or what's your, I met a sister about it over during the summer, spring, summer. And she was just like, a furrowed eyebrow away from being appalled that I didn't have an Instagram page for Interior Instinct. And I had to explain to her, my clientele is not scrolling on Instagram. My client base is not on Instagram. My client base is not on Facebook looking for an interior design firm. They're not there. They're just not there. And so a website has not stopped me, or the lack of a website has not stopped me from having a successful business for 18 years. I've done this without those contemporary things that people just think you need in order to be recognized or become known and that sort of thing. And that is absolutely not the case. So I can attest to that application of knowledge that you said that you learned from the owner of Lamborghini, because it's absolutely true. You know your market, you know your people, or you know the market that you want to attract, right? Yep. And social media works splendidly for certain things. So I'm never going to take away from it. I know that it has a function, and I know that it has done some wonderful things for a lot of people in terms of getting them recognized and, getting them out there to the public, garnering a following for whatever their product, their service, their brand, whatever it may be. But for me, my clientele is just simply not on social media. My clientele is not scrolling up and down Instagram. And, I've been here 18 years and I've been okay. I've been okay. If we think about it, businesses have been functioning for decades upon decades upon decades when there was no such thing as social media and internet, when all we had was the yellow pages. Or word of mouth.
If I'm being honest, I prefer, and granted, I love my Instagram, but even on there, I've switched my content because that one comment from the owner of Lamborghini changed everything. Okay, well, if they're not watching TV, well, I'm still going to be on my internet. I'm still going to be on my computer because there's still things that I need to do. I'm probably still going to have Netflix playing in the background. Like, let's be realistic. We're not going to just drop everything and go for a new lifestyle, but we can change what we intake.
Yeah.
And so I started looking up like business plans and things that would make me go to Google and do a little more research and find, okay, this sparks this interest in me. Let me figure out how I can turn this into a business. Let's figure out how to monetize this. Let's, things that were inspiring and not just things that wouldn't put me into a trap of just the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But it took that to get out of the consumer mindset.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, it's such a difference between being in a consumer mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset. As an entrepreneur, I would seek someone out like you because you're not everywhere.
Yeah.
You're exclusive. I know what I'm going to get is going to be personalized to my taste. You're not overwhelmed. 9 times out of 10, you actually studied your craft.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And I know it like the back of my hand. Yes. And I don't want fame. I want wealth.
That part.
I don't care about, followers. I don't care about followers. I don't care about friends. I need, as they say, give me my coins. That's all I need. And my water. Yeah, for sure.
Friends don't pay the bills.
Yeah. I'm sitting at the gas station. I'll be right back here.
All right.
Okay.
I'm like, I've been trying to get gas. The conversation is good.
Yes, indeed.
This is the mom sound die. I'm back.
Okay. Marky Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, this is such a wonderful evening, and I want to thank you again for asking Jayla and I to join you.
I'm glad I ran into y'all.
Yeah.
We got to hang out, break bread a little bit, have some fun, have a drink.
Yes, a tad bit. And
take
it
in
brought
the
us here
evening.
today. Happy we could assist. Happy we could be a part of it. For sure.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Don't worry, you'll be back.
If you want me back, I'll be back. It'd be my pleasure.
Anyone that's ever been on the show is always welcome to come back. There's always a handful that you want back. For example, Miss Be Inspired. I have her on the show bare minimum twice a year. I need to change that because I need to have her on at least 4 times a year. Chardell Moore. I have her on bare minimum twice a year. Again, I need to change that because I need to have her on 4 times a year because of the type of not just a woman, not just a businesswoman, not just an entrepreneur, the type of individuals they are, the type of love and support that they show me day in and day out. Naomi's the whole reason why I got into radio. I never wanted to do this. Never dreamed of it. Never thought twice about it. No, that ain't me. That'll never happen. She asked me a question. I said, sure. Why not? Yeah, I wasn't comfortable for over 6 months of doing a show. I literally had to go have some drinks before every show for over 6 months.
Wow.
There were 2 times Tiana would tap me and whisper, Mark, shut up, you're drunk. And I didn't feel in any kind of way other than bad because I had just a little bit too much to drink. But I started weeding myself off it because I looked at the fact I had 2 incredible women that were my co-hosts. They're there for a reason. Why am I still doing this like I'm doing this by myself? So COVID happened and I played around with it. Oh yeah, Skylyne Radio's back. But nothing ever went in the direction that I needed it to go until when I called Monty and was like, I'm ready to come home. What day can I have? What's the process? What I gotta do? This, that, whatever, and the third. Monty was like, remember what you did last time? That's what you got to do this time. Ain't nothing changed. Love to have you back. I liked your show. You had a good show. So through the grace, through the blessings, the support, the love, and appreciation, Monty made it happen.
Wonderful.
And here I am.
Wonderful.
And I have not once been this way or that way to do my show. I'm drinking water, water and Gatorade.
Right.
I don't need that to help me get through doing a show. I'd hate to see what I'd done if I was in front of an audience. You have an audience, but you can't see them. You're talking into a microphone, or you're talking into a phone, an iPad, a computer system. So yeah, you have no idea who's watching.
Yeah.
People from another country could be watching.
Yeah.
Especially now because it's Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when we were in the studio, everything's through the internet. Going through Zoom, everything's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people in Baltimore watching, people in DC, the DMV, the tri-state area, throughout the country, globally.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's watching this show from a different part of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to get over that hump. That was probably never there. It was probably just all in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But just, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of myself to be able to do this and not rely on a drink to do it.
Yes, yes. And we're proud of you for getting beyond that place where you felt like you needed to.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
when they say alcoholism is a drug, it is.
It is.
Because as an alcoholic, you rely on it for different various things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rely on alcohol. Am I an alcoholic? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a functional alcoholic? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Was I ever an alcoholic? First time I did my radio show, I was an alcoholic because I felt as though I needed that
Mm-hmm.
to do my show. So therefore, yes. Have I ever been an alcoholic? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If I've ever been an alcoholic, that's when. Because I thought I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever think, oh, I don't need it. I want it. No, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Alcoholism, drug addiction, mental illness, they're very important topics that people do not want to talk about because of their pride.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't mind hanging up my pride and speaking truth and facts.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people are going to respect you more if you speak the truth versus lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not going to talk too much about me because it's supposed to be about you and Jayla.
No, it's fine. But you know, Mark, that's why we love and appreciate you so much. You know, because you're transparent. You've always been transparent from the time I met you. It's been nothing but transparency. And we appreciate that. I appreciate it, and I know these other ladies appreciate it as well. I know Bilan appreciates it. I know Jayla appreciates it because it's difficult for men to be transparent. You know, I grew up in a household with men. You know, I had older brothers, and then my uncles were always around, and then their friends were always around. So I know, and I've heard the conversations that they've had with one another, and it is difficult to be transparent, especially when you are vulnerable, you know. And so I applaud you. I applaud you for being honest and forthcoming and shedding that pride long enough to recognize that there was something about yourself that you needed to change in order for you to be able to forge ahead in what it was that you were trying to do. And now look at you. You're here, you're doing it, and we appreciate you. We love the platform that you've created, and we want to continue to see more of it.
I appreciate your love and support, both of y'all.
You know we love you. You know we love you all day.
When Zen, within your interior decorating, what's the biggest job you ever done? Meaning, biggest job meaning the structure, house, apartment complex, a business.
The square footage wise or unit wise?
Both.
Okay. Square footage. Remember Randy? Oh, my goodness. This was within the first, I think, year or two of me starting my business. I was so nervous about this project. I had a client who lived kind of, so if you go all the way to the end of 795 and you get off in this, I can't remember what route it is, but it's taking you up towards Pennsylvania.
Right.
He had purchased an old farmhouse that sat on about, I want to say about 4 or 5 acres of land.
Okay.
And he turned this little bitty farmhouse into about 5,000 square feet. And he was a little guy. He was a little guy with big aspirations for his home. And everything had to be huge. Everything had to be big. Everything had to be over the top. He was a demolition contractor in Baltimore City. And so he was one of the few demolition contractors in Baltimore City at that particular time. So he was hired to do a lot of these huge jobs of these historic structures and things like that they were kind of tearing down. And he repurposed a lot of materials. So we had, just to give you a little bit of an idea and insight in what he was creating with the space from this little bitty farmhouse. I think the farmhouse might have been, I don't know, 800 square feet, maybe that. I mean, it was teeny. And so we had his bed custom made. His mattress was actually the size of 2 California king size mattresses, but it was one mattress, had it custom made. We had to have it lifted up to the 3rd floor of his home and taken over the balcony to get it into his owner's suite. The owner's suite had a full bar in it, like you know how you go into bar 1.
Right.
The bar was about the length of the bar in bar 1 in the owner's suite. Yeah. So that was the largest residential project that I've done. It's about 7,500 square feet. And then the largest commercial, well, no, this was also residential, but it was about a 10-unit building, in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've done commercial projects, real estate offices, stores, boutiques, stores, different things like that. But those were my most memorable because they were from ground zero type of situations. So,
Right.
and not just like a gut and rehab.
Have you ever done anything for a client that's famous?
I have.
Can you tell who they are?
No, but I have.
Did you actually meet them, or did you go through their agent?
Oh no, I met them. I knew them. Well, one in particular, I knew first before I actually worked on his home.
Okay.
So yeah. But there have been 3 very famous clients that I've had, but I didn't go through the agent on any of them. It was just me just kind of being in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
Sort of situation, yeah.
Do you have individual celebrities that you would like to do something for?
Oh, is there anyone that I would like to do something for? You know who I would like to do something for? Tracy Ellis Ross.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I think she and I would have a blast. Yeah, I think she and I would have a blast.
Name 5 women, name 5 men.
5 and 5? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a whole.
What'd you say, Bilan?
Like that's a lot.
Man, that's a lot.
And I need you to be real with yourself, because you and Tracy Ellis Ross would not get no work done together. Like, I can see that now.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
It would eventually get done. It would eventually get done, but there'd be a lot of comedy relief.
It would get done after y'all done bought like 100 mimosas and 50,000 more properties that made a whole show on Oxygen.
Yes. Now you're asking my brain. It's been a long day. You're asking me to go deep into the confines of the mind right now, Mark.
Okay,
And,
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'll pick 5 men, 5 women.
You pair me with them. Let's see how this goes.
Tyler Perry. I don't care what no one says. I'll name one. I won't name both. Tyler Perry, Bill Cosby.
Wait. I'm sorry. I gotta. Wait. I'm sorry. I apologize. Is Bill even gonna be able to see the interior decoration?
Ooh.
I don't mean no harm. I swear I don't mean no harm.
He still got one good eye.
You not right. Not right.
No, they say he is going blind. They say he's completely blind.
Yeah.
Figuratively speaking, in one eye.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be funny. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but like, I'll be for real.
Has depleted enormously.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler Perry, Bill Cosby, Ice Cube, I can't think.
I want the last one.
Take the last one.
Morgan Freeman.
There you go. Why Morgan Freeman? That's who I was thinking of. I can't think of the guy's name. He
I feel like
he did the voiceover.
That's the thin one that had the big eyes, the wide eyes.
She's the one. She's the one that was the lead singer for the song. No, not Hold On. That's Cindy.
No, the other. I know what you're talking about.
Remember the song Don't Go?
Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So Terry Ellis, Queen Latifah, MC Lyte.
I can't think of her name. Law and Order SVU. Benson.
Marissa.
Olivia.
Marissa.
Yeah, her.
And
That's my show.
I'm gonna go with someone new.
Okay.
Because she plays the hell out of her role. The woman that plays the police chief on East New York.
I'm not familiar with
What?
that show.
There's
On
a
what
new
show?
show. There's a new show out that comes on after The Equalizer that Queen Latifah plays in called
Mhm.
East New York.
Okay. I'll have to look up who that is.
What's her name?
Okay.
He doesn't know her name.
Oh.
All right, so I'm gonna add one to the list since he had all
Okay.
his 5 women. My
Okay,
one,
right.
and I see so much of her in you,
Uh-huh.
both you and your daughter actually. Michelle Obama.
Oh, that yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Hands
would love
down.
that. I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. Especially since she has not been in the White House. Have you seen how fly she is?
Yes!
Have you seen the
Yeah.
flyness? I mean, she was already
Yes!
fly, but she was the conservative fly.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a conservative fly.
This is Michelle Obama fly now. Like,
Yes.
this is who I am.
Bilan,
This is me.
Bilan,
You know?
you couldn't name any other woman other than Michelle, because every single time I have seen Zen, whether at someone's house, out in the street, at an event, she is always very conservative, very professional looking, very fly.
Aw, thank you, honey.
You know, and honestly, for me, and I think I mentioned it earlier, it was more of a vibe and a spirit in her energy. It goes beyond her looks. And her looks are honestly enhanced because of her energy.
Oh, thank you.
And so while I've never, just like I've never met you in person, I've never met Michelle Obama in person, but I feel like you all have such kindred spirits.
Oh, I received that.
For sure. I mean, like, oh my gosh. Like, I feel like, just certain people, you could be in a bath world and still be completely like, yes, I'm that girl. I'm that woman.
Right.
That's the energy that you carry. And it's not a facade. It's not a fake. It's like, I worked for this. And when I look up, if there's a mirror in front of me or if there's not, I see me at all times. And I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed.
All right. I'm gonna start with you, Jayla.
Make it quick. We only got 5 minutes left.
With your future endeavors, how can people get in contact with you?
As far as what, being someone's doula?
That
Your upcoming YouTube show
that
that we ain't talking about yet, but
There she is.
Right.
Yeah, speak it.
and a few other things.
Okay, well, I do have a doula page. It is Jayla the doula. Pretty simple, but people can follow me there. And my personal page, people more so reach out to me on my personal page for just about anything. It's my_loving.
Instagram, right?
Yes, all Instagram. Please. Put the
I'm
face.
And you Zen?
Interior_instincts@gmail.com. That's it.
All right.
That's
All right,
it.
we're gonna go off script because I'm sure you two know. Bilan doesn't because she's down there in Tampa. My thoughts and my prayers are for the 6 victims that we lost in a crazy car accident on 695 Wednesday.
Yeah.
My thoughts and prayers are with the truck driver in the tanker explosion on 795.
This morning.
What was that?
That was
Yesterday or
this
today?
That was
today.
Yeah.
My thoughts and prayers are with the victim and the I guess hero that jumped in the harbor to save him after driving his car into the harbor.
Yeah.
last but not least, my thoughts and prayers are for all the first responders that were involved in any of them 3 incidents.
Yeah.
You know, every time you see a police car, a fire truck, an EMS, an ambulance, anything of first responders, you always wonder, what are they getting ready to walk into? Or where are they coming from?
Yeah,
that's true.
My brother was a firefighter. I know a lot of different cops, first responders, military. My father's retired Navy, 23 years. The stories, the nightmares.
Yeah.
It's incredible what they endure. It's incredible what they live with, and they continue to do it. So much respect to all of them.
For sure, for sure. And I want to add something to that really quickly. If you're listening right now, or if you tune in later on after this, recording ends, after this airing ends, I should say, please move out of their way.
Oh yeah.
When you see and hear them coming, please move. Please move. Please. I see it all the time. It's unbelievable how people do not respond with a sense of urgency when an emergency vehicle is approaching.
I think people just freeze up too. I think it's a lot of just freezing, not really knowing.
Everybody,
right?
Like nobody moves. Everybody, I just keep that in mind. Make a way, figure it out, but do it safely. All right.
Again, Jayla and Zen, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the show. Bilan, I love you.
Thank you for having us. Absolutely. This has been a blast. Bilan.
Monty, you're the best. This is Skylyne Radio Show on Beexposedradio Radio. Good night, everybody. Peace and blessings.
Good night. Love you. Bye.
Well, y'all.
Yeah, I